Failure to plan is planning to fail. We've all heard it before, and this couldn't be any more true when it comes to creating video content. If you don't have a plan for what you're going to be doing with your video, it's going to suck, right? Much like this intro. So let's get into it. Hey guys, it's Joey here from the Videos team, and you're watching Videos, Tips and Tricks, where we show you lots of different tips and tricks on how to create better looking video content for your business. So today we're gonna be talking about planning your video. Now, a lot of you probably do plan your videos, but there might be certain things that you're not thinking about when it comes to creating your video content. Believe it or not, there's a bunch of questions that we normally ask ourselves to help us plan the perfect video. And these questions essentially will help you craft the perfect structure and script, hopefully, for the video that you're gonna create. And the reason that you do this is because you always wanna know what you're gonna get out of your video, right? Like, are you trying to get more sales? Are you trying to get more subscribers or whatever else? And that's basically kind of the foundation of these questions. It leads you into creating a better video because it's gonna get you the result that you're after. So Dan's got something for me here. We're gonna be using Tom as the guinea pig in this video. We've got a case study here. So from my understanding, from what Dan's told me, Tom is going to be playing the role of a business owner, and the business details are in this file. I'm gonna basically give Tom the 10 questions that he should be asking himself when it comes to making a video. So that's for you.
Thank you.
And my questions are over here.
Questions are in there.
Oh, the questions are in there?
Yeah, it's underneath his dot plan.
All right, so you pass me the questions. There you go. Cool. So the first question is, what is the purpose of my video?
So the purpose of my video would be
Right, so what's the purpose of your video? What do you think?
the purpose of my video is to show people how to tame rabbits.
There we go. So Tom is a rabbit tamer. I've never heard of this before, by the way. Is it someone that trains rabbits, basically? Like a dog trainer for rabbits. So, okay, now you know what the purpose of your video is. So instantly now we know what we want to get out of this video is showing people, well, there's two things. We can either show people how to look after their rabbit, and that's fine. You know, if you're wanting to just show people how to do it, like on the first type kind of like video, that's fine. But if you're a business owner and you want to make money out of this, then what you want to be doing is showing people how you know how to look after rabbits, if that makes sense. So it's not like you're not trying to show them the how, you're trying to show them the what. So it's like, okay, this is what I do. I have looked after rabbits for, how old are you?
24.
10 years, since you were 14. Since Tom was 14, he's been looking after rabbits, so he knows exactly what he's doing. Over the span of your career, you've looked after 100 rabbits or some shit, and basically everybody comes to you when it comes to figuring out how to deal with a rabbit. You know what I mean? Like, so that's, you know, that's the purpose. So it's either, are you showing people how to look after the rabbit, or are you showing them that you know how to look after rabbits? There's a big difference there, because if you want to sell them a service, you want to be just telling them that you know how to look after rabbits, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Right. So the second question is, what actions do I want my viewers to take after watching my video?
So after my rabbit taming videos, I'd want my viewers to, well, look after the rabbits well,
Okay.
I suppose.
All right, well, look, if that's what Tom wants, if he doesn't want to get paid and he just wants people just to look after their rabbits, then that's fine. Now he knows what he wants to do with his video, right? He knows he doesn't need to sell his rabbit taming service. What he needs to do is create a training video. So this is the point. This is why these questions really help, because, and look, there's nothing wrong with it. There's no right and wrong answer. If that's what Tom wants, then fine. But if that's what it is, then the content needs to be based on, right, this is how you tame a rabbit. I'm not going to charge you any money for it. But on the other side, if you do want to charge money,
A bit of money would be nice.
okay, so if you could do both things, like if you want to make a video about making money, then we now start to understand what that video needs to be. It's like, I'm going to show you how I can do this, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So question number 3 is, what do they need to know to take that action? So what do they need to know in order to either buy from you or to look after their rabbits?
So to buy from me, my viewers would need a link to some sort of page or service.
Sure, yeah, but let's take a step back. And before they even buy, what are the kinds of things that they would need to know? So for example, if I'm telling somebody, look, I want someone to buy Real Gold or Fade to Black, it's like, but what do they need to know before they buy that from me? Like, have I got the authority to teach on the subject? Like, can they trust me?
Yeah.
Like, am I just chatting shit, basically?
So I've got 10 years in
Exactly.
dealing with rabbits, so I'm a trustworthy rabbit tamer.
Exactly. Are there other people that have used your services? Are there other people's rabbits you've looked after that can maybe say, do you know what? I've used Tom's rabbit taming services before, and he knows what he's doing. Can they trust you with their rabbit? Basically, are you the rabbit whisperer? Essentially.
Yeah.
Number 4, who is my target audience?
Rabbit owners, surely.
So really easy one, but again, it's interesting how many people kind of miss the mark on this. If your audience is rabbit people, then you need to know rabbit people lingo.
Yeah.
So it's like, if we're talking about video, for instance, like we want to talk about rule of the thirds, we want to talk about cameras and tripods and whatever else. So this is all stuff that people in the video market would understand and relate with. But if you're talking about rabbits, you want to talk about rabbit shit. I don't know. Like Dan's got a rabbit. What's a rabbit thing?
How to brush it properly.
Okay, so how do you brush your rabbit? I didn't know you had to brush a rabbit. Do they shed?
They do, yeah.
See, I didn't know rabbit shed. See, this is why you would need to use that kind of language and understand who they are. So that's who's the audience. What do my target audience want/need to watch? That's a good question, really, because that's kind of making you want to say you got to get in their head. Like, what do you think they need to watch? What do they want?
Rabbit stuff. So, for example, if they shed, I need to show how to brush a rabbit.
Yeah.
Surely.
Surely. Yeah, definitely. So the other things are like, okay, well, if I'm a new rabbit owner, right, what I need is, I don't know what, like, the shedding thing's a good example. Like, I don't know that a rabbit sheds. So what they need is insight, basically. They almost need pre-sight kind of thing, like a warning label as to what the f***'s about to happen because I've just got a rabbit. So you're like, right, your rabbit is going to turn into a f***ing reptile in 2 weeks. Then they need to know that. What should they expect as a new rabbit owner kind of thing? Does that make sense?
I'm with you, yeah.
So number 6, what is the main message I'm looking to get across? So what's the one kind of thing?
To rabbit owners. The main message I want to get across is, I don't know, just look after your rabbit. Just look after your rabbit.
Yeah. If you're making a rabbit taming video, a very specific one, and let's say this specific video is for people that haven't bought their rabbit yet. So it might be someone like me that's looking into getting a rabbit.
Yeah.
So you might be like, right, this video specifically, the message of this video is, if you're a first-time rabbit owner, here's the different types of rabbits you could get, and here's the pros and cons of each one, for instance. Like, so the message there is, you're a first-time rabbit owner, this video is going to help you make your first step into choosing your rabbit.
Yeah.
Or it's like, the message could be, I don't know, right, you've just brought your rabbit home, it's day 1, here's what the first 7 days looks like with your rabbit, this is what you need to do. So that's what it means by the message, is what is the one thing that you need to get across in that video. And again, if it's sales, if you're trying to sell something, then it's just, here's why you need to buy from me. That's the message.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 7, what do I need to do to ensure the video reflects my brand identity? That's a complex question. I need to think about that one myself.
Can you repeat the question?
It depends. Like, for me, the way that I look at this question is like, it's like when we make a video, our brand identity is casual, laid back, edgy, interesting, young, youthful. These are all kind of the values that sit around our brand. So when you watch our content, hopefully these things come across, that we're not like stiff and rigid. It's all quite free flowing and natural and personal. And that's kind of like how our brand comes across. It's a personal brand. So again, as a rabbit tamer, maybe you are very casual, laid back rabbit owner. Like,
I'd say so, yeah.
or you could come from a really like, I don't know, like a very well-researched position where it's like, right, this is a really serious video, Rabbit's a serious business, that's what our brand is, and these are the things you need to follow. Or you could come across in a really, quite a cuddly,
Homely touch to your videos.
I think that pretty much addresses that one. Number 8, if your audience is not aware of who you or your business is, how will I educate them in the video?
Sorry, one more time, just do that again.
What kind of things can you do in the video to make them aware of who you are and what your business is?
Again, I'd just have, brandy stuff, brands.
Brandy stuff, like Moesha.
I'd have, intro with me, my logo.
Yep.
Let people know this is my brand. We're
Lower third.
Third.
My name's Tom. I'm the Rabbit Whisperer.
The Rabbit Whisperer.
Gives some authority, gives some direct kind of visuals onto who you are without you necessarily having to say it.
Yeah, all that good stuff, really.
You could use other people. So if you've looked after Dan's rabbits, or you've shown Dan how to look after rabbits, Dan could come in the video and say, Tom's the guy. Tom, help me.
I've had 10 years experience.
I didn't know that. You should make a video about it.
So that's how you can kind of get the message across to your audience. Like, when we do our sales videos, for instance, how do we let people know who we are? Well, we use logos, as Tom said. We use lower thirds when we're introducing myself, David, or Jamie. We might, show up some of the examples of the animations that we create. So we actually show the software on screen. Here's our animations. Here's how cool our software is. We show reviews from other people from Trustpilot and reviews all over the website and all over the web on how good we are and what we can do for them. So as a rabbit tamer, it's like, leverage people that have used your services before. If no one's used the services before, that's fine. Just go and do some work for some people, like maybe do a couple of free gigs for people and showing them how to look after their rabbits.
Yeah.
And then say, look, do you mind maybe coming and talking in my video for a minute just about how I helped you understand how to look after your rabbits. Really simple ways that you can start building credibility and authority as whatever it is you are, a rabbit tamer. Number 9, what obstacles must my audience overcome to purchase my product or service? So what obstacles do they have to overcome to buy from you? So the reason for this one is if your product is really expensive, you will initially think, right, my product's pretty expensive. How am I going to get around that in the video?
I'd justify it. You have to pay so much because, caring for a rabbit, it's expensive. You can't cheap out on it.
What do you think the obstacles would be though, as a rabbit tamer? If you're trying to sell your rabbit taming services, what things are going to stop me from buying from you?
Competition, basically. So, if there's another rabbit whisperer next door who's been in the business 12 years, people might jump to them, hop to them.
That's a good example, actually. So let's say there are lots of rabbit tamers. So one of the things that you could do there is, again, just leveraging your experience. So even if you've got less experience, let's say you've got 5 years and then someone down the road's got 10. The way that you can come across better is by getting reviews and testimonials and all of that stuff and getting proof. So that's the only way you're going to overcome that, is because if someone looks at you and says, he's only been doing it for 2 years, but he's got all these amazing reviews, so he probably does know what he's doing.
Yeah.
So that's how you can then start overcoming it. So that's why we ask this question, is what obstacles are people going to have about buying your product or service? Because it starts to preempt what you can put in your video to try and overcome that. So last one, what equipment and software and talent do I need to make this video?
For a start, to make a video, a camera, doesn't have to be anything too fancy. I'd need a rabbit, I'm assuming. Yeah. Camera, rabbit, depends what I'm doing. If I'm, showing how to brush.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. Like, look, you're gonna probably need to edit the video.
Yeah.
You might need to add some graphics and that kind of stuff. So you could use videos, like if you want to add branding, all of that good stuff. But again, the reason we ask this again is because if you don't know what that video is going to be, like if we don't know everything we're going to need in the video, you're not going to be able to plan for that, right? So that's why if we know these things, we can then plan to make this video better. And that's basically what these questions do, right? So any other questions on that?
No, I think that's about it from me.
Cool. So hopefully that gives you an idea of the kind of things we think about before we go and shoot a video. I know some of the questions might seem a little bit vague and very simple, but believe it or not, these simple questions will lead you to creating better content and have you better prepared for making your stuff. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a comment below, hit the like button and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video on Videos, Tips and Tricks.